So, The Martian, it came out in 2015, which that has to be one of the greatest years in all of movies. You have my second favorite film of all time. Ant-Man is the only film that I like better than The Martian that year. And just listen to how many great films came out that year. Creed, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Inside Out, The Walk, Bridge of Spies, The Good Dinosaur, Jurassic World, McFarland USA. That was a great year in film. And the second best film was The Martian. And this probably is the best film if I wasn't super attached to the Ant-Man character. But Matt Damon plays Mark Watney. And he's on Mars, he's having a good time. There's this windstorm. They need to evacuate now. And he gets... something happens. He gets... I just had a brain fart. I forgot the word I was looking for. He gets separated from the other people. They can't find him. They believe he is dead. Well, lo and behold, a satellite sealed his suit so he wasn't exposed to the Martian atmosphere, and he lives. So this is Castaway, but instead of having to worry about how do I have food and how do I get rescued, you have to think about how do I get food, how do I get water, how do I have oxygen, and you got to deal with being isolated on a planet by yourself. There's nobody else on this planet besides Matt Damon's Mark Watney. And this is a better movie than Geostorm because I care about Mark Watney. I want Mark Watney to be rescued. He has to be the smartest guy on the planet. He has to be the humblest guy on the planet. But you don't want him to be too self-centered because he becomes unlikable. And when he solves his food problem, you cheer. When he finds the, how do I communicate to the people in Houston, you cheer. When he's like, I have this food, but now I don't have any ketchup, and I have to go years without tasting ketchup. And I don't really like ketchup, but I'm like, that sucks, bro. And I care about the crew of the Hermes. They left this guy behind thinking he was dead to only find out he is not dead, and then being told that they're supposed to come back at Earth because one astronaut dying isn't as bad as 6 or 7 astronauts dying. And you have all this post-traumatic stress of, I left this guy here to die. And this is done so well. The effects of this movie are amazing. It looks like they filmed on Mars, but they didn't. They used a lot of green screen. They filmed in Jordan. And Mark Watney is one of my favorite film characters. He is just so good. He is a guy that is humble enough. He's like, I'm a botanist, but yet has to survive in his own on a planet that he is not that familiar with. And it's not like they have oxygen that you can just breathe. He has to worry about oxygen. This is Castaway 5.0. He has so much more stuff to worry about than Tom Hanks did in Castaway. And you got to deal with all that problems. This is a film that got nominated for Best Comedy and Musical at the Golden Globes. It has comedic moments. It didn't get it got nominated and it won. I have no idea how it has comedic moments. I do not think this is a comedy. I love the part where he ran out of ketchup when he's Pirate Blondebeard because they would have to deal with maritime law on Mars because you cannot colonize Mars because they had the Moon Agreement and that counts with Mars. And this is a very good film. This is one of my favorite films. It was directed by Ridley Scott, and it is probably my favorite Ridley Scott film. I haven't seen Alien, but he's got Gladiator, and he's got so many great films. He also directed Exodus, Gods and Kings, which wasn't that great, and he has a lot of great films that wasn't that great. But Ridley Scott is a fantastic director, and I think this is one of his best films. It is based on a 2011 book by Andy Weir, and it's on the Kindle 10th anniversary sale, so you can get this book right now. Today's the last day for $3. And I did pick this up. I haven't read it. I got a couple other books I want to read before I read this, but someday I will read this book because I adore and I love this movie. And this is my second favorite film of 2015. But this film, I highly recommend it, and I believe this film is one of the few perfect films. This is a 10 out of 10 film.